Hey there, Columbus. It is Cbus Nathan. If you have a kitchen that you've been wanting to update, but you're just like, I don't want to put that money into it, or maybe you've got a custom cabinet quote and you're like, that's just way too much for me, this video is for you. Stick around. I'm going to be sitting down with Samuel Troyer of Troyer Transformations, and he is going to break down some myths and misconceptions and just talk about the process of refacing your cabinets. So stick around. So as mentioned, I am with Samuel Troyer of Troyer Transformation up here in Plain City. I'm so excited to sit down with you. Thank you again for having me in to talk a little bit about your business and how you help the Central Ohio community. So let's just dive right in. We talked a little bit before the camera started rolling just about what services you provide. So you do custom cabinetry, refacing of cabinets, countertops, but the real thing I want to focus in on is the refacing of cabinetry, because I feel like I hear it from my clients all the time. They maybe go into a home and they don't love the design of the cabinet that they have in there, but maybe they don't have the budget to completely gut the kitchen. So can you talk to me just a little bit about the difference between a custom cabinet and refacing a cabinet?
Yeah, so refacing a cabinet is different in the sense that we're working with your existing cabinet boxes. Mm-hmm. We're putting a new face frame end panels, new doors, new drawer boxes, drawer fronts. We're really taking the surfaces of your cabinet and updating them with new door styles and finishes. So in that sense, it is different than totally replacing your cabinets.
And it's interesting because, you know, the traditional sense of refacing, you think of kind of maybe that veneer that's on the surface of a cabinet, and we talked about how you can sometimes see that kind of black line in the corner of the cabinets, but your process is a little bit more unique. I feel like, honestly, more elevated and gives more of a higher end custom look. So can you, again, touching on that a little bit, what maybe is the difference between something maybe most people have seen as far as a traditional resurfacing or refacing and what you guys do?
Yeah, so we actually, all of our components, the face frames, the doors, everything we're using to reface a cabinet is real hardwood. Mm-hmm. And the face frames, for example, are 3/4 inch thick. They're not just a peel and stick veneer. And all of those components are going to be finished, either painted or stained, with a high quality cabinet grade finish that's going to last 10, 20 years or more. It's going to have the same type of durability as a custom cabinet would, as opposed to, like a thermofoil and a peel and stick veneer type of application.
Yeah, so, with that sounds expensive. It sounds like it could be very pricey, but if somebody's watching this right now and they're deciding whether they want to paint or if they want to reface or get custom cabinets, what does the price difference look like between all of those? I know it can be kind of broad, but if somebody's watching and they maybe want to know if this makes sense for them on their next kitchen reno, what would you tell them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So at the bottom end of the price spectrum, I would say you're going to have repainting your existing cabinets, just painting them with a quality latex paint. And that might be, on average, I'm just guessing $3,000 to $5,000 to have that done. And that is, while it may look nice in the short term, it's not going to have the same durability as refacing or replacing your cabinets does. On the other end of the price spectrum, you're going to have total replacement with high-end custom cabinets, and that might be $35,000, $50,000, $75,000 or more for a custom cabinet package. So we are, with our type of refacing, using those hardwood components and high quality hardware, we're really about exactly in the middle, I would say, of those two price points between just painting your cabinets and total replacement.
Nice, yeah, and I know we'll take some video of kind of your showroom, because it is such a great space and you provide so many different styles and trends and things like that throughout. But, just seeing the before and after of that refacing, you would have never guessed that they were the same cabinets. So that was such a cool part of the showroom as well, just seeing that actually in person.
And one thing that I'll mention is that we can do a lot to an existing kitchen layout. Even just with refacing a client's cabinets, we can also add a few new cabinets. We can enlarge an island or add one where there is none. We can also take an existing cabinet with doors and turn it into a bank of deep drawers, for example. So there's a lot that we can do with the refacing process that goes above and beyond just refacing cabinets exactly as is. We can add functionality, update the aesthetics in a lot of ways that might be surprising to people.
Yeah, I was surprised by that, like how you can change the functionality. Obviously, maybe not the configuration, if the stove is where the stove is, but like if you like the configuration of your kitchen, but you do want the functionality to maybe just be a little bit more improved for your lifestyle, I feel like that refacing really does make sense, and using your company would be so beneficial to people who were kind of, in that realm of thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so say, there's some space within their kitchen that they're like, it's not utilized. You mentioned that you could add some custom cabinetry with refacing, or if they solely just want to reface. What does the process look like if somebody calls you up today and says, hey, Samuel, I really want to work with your company? What does the initial process look like? And how long does it take?
Okay, so the first step typically would be for myself to come out, do an in-home consultation. Usually I can do that within a few days to a week. That allows me to get an understanding of what the customer's looking for. We can talk about kind of broad level door styles, finishes, changes to the configurations of the cabinet, etc. And again, if they'd like to add any cabinetry, we can talk about whether they're going to be replacing countertops, backsplash, all of that. Pretty much get a general idea of the scope of work, and then I'll bring that information back. We'll create a detailed estimate, and then the customer will come here to the showroom and review that, and then we'll be able to show them examples of our work here in the showroom, review the estimate, and then I guess the next step would be for us to come out to take final measurements.
Okay.
We do a very detailed measuring of the entire space.
Okay.
And then we can put parts into production. And then it gets to the exciting part where we actually start on-site work within, hopefully, within 3 to 6 months of when the customer contracts with us. We can begin on-site work, and really, one of the neat things about the process is that it'll only take, on an average kitchen, 3 to maybe 5 or 7 days on the really large kitchen to complete the work.
Oh, wow. I mean, so really you're only disruptive from your lifestyle about maybe a week max. I don't want to say max, because I'm sure there's special projects out there, but that's really not that much time.
No, it's only a fraction of the project time start to completion compared to a complete tear out and remodel.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's great that you can do that within such a short time period. And I mean, obviously, if they come here, they can see that you're making everything literally right above us. So you can see that it's all handmade and why it takes longer to have all those things, as opposed to going to a big box store and saying, hey, I want that cabinet, and you could potentially take it out then and there. But, it's not to the same level or grade that you guys would be creating.
Yeah, every component, every door, every face frame is custom made exactly to fit, your exact cabinets.
Nice.
It does take some time.
Is there anything that you are seeing on current projects or within the past year or so, like the trends that you're really seeing a lot of people gravitate towards in this market?
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of very simple door styles. Simple door styles with not a lot of profiling are easy to clean. They're practical. with people's busy lifestyles, they're not looking to have a high maintenance kitchen. Quartz is another, the quartz countertops, that also lends itself to easy cleanability, never have to worry about sealing it. That's a big one for our customers. A couple of other things. We've been doing quite a few stained islands. Stained islands are a great accent piece to the kitchen, and they're practical. The island is in the middle of the kitchen. It gets more wear and tear than a lot of other areas. So a stained hardwood is really practical for that. Elevated hardware, I would say, really focusing on hardware selection is a big one for our customers these days.
I feel like my clients all the time are like, that can make such a big difference. It's like a make or break moment. It seems so simple, but it can be such an elevated feature.
Absolutely. That can apply not just to cabinet hardware, but even to your doors and other areas of the home. But yeah, that's a big one for us.
Yeah. I mean, that seems like there's some pretty great trends that we're kind of seeing within the market. And, I hear clients here and there talk about those things, or maybe more gravitated towards those things without vocalizing it, but it is something that we are seeing more and more of within the market, is kind of exactly what you're talking about. So are there anything as far as maybe some misconceptions about either custom cabinetry or refacing that maybe you would like to bust or break open a little bit and explain?
Sure. I guess we talked about this a little bit already, but the cost factor. There is maybe some people have the idea that refacing costs just as much as new cabinets. But again, it does save a significant amount over new cabinets. Of course, this can vary based on, how much we accessorize the kitchen, all the different choices that the customer makes. But generally speaking, I see about 40% cost savings over new cabinetry, to use a percentage. Another maybe misconception is that refacing is going to have a, quote, cheap look to it, where you're going to see veneer edges and you're going to see thermofoil doors, that sort of cheaper products use cheaper hardwares. But actually, at least with our process of refacing, we're really using exactly the same custom hardwood products and high-end hardware, hinges and slides, that we would use when we build a brand new custom kitchen. So those are two things that I'd mention as misconceptions.
Yeah, and I mean, one that I walked in with and you broke open when we were talking before this was the ability to change the functionality of the inside of the cabinets. I feel like that was just like for me, because I'm like, oh no, the cabinet that they have is the cabinet that they need to keep. And when you think about refacing, you think you're just working on the exterior, but you can work on the guts of the cabinet too.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do so much of that exact thing, where we're changing a basic cabinet that has doors on it and an adjustable shelf, and we are putting rollouts inside that are height adjustable, or we're adding a rollout waste drawer. We're doing silverware organizer inserts into existing drawers, and just there's a almost endless list of things that you can do to update the functionality of the cabinets and really make the whole kitchen function really just perfectly for you.
Love that. Yeah. Before we go, is there anything that you would like to leave the viewers with before we let them go on their day?
Yeah, I would just say, if you're looking to update your kitchen, but maybe the cost factor, or even for a lot of our customers, it's really the time and disruptive factor that a kitchen transformation causes. Consider refacing your cabinets. It's so much less expensive, so much less disruptive, I guess, than a traditional tear out and remodel. And I think that's something that a lot of our customers talk about, that surprises them, and it's a much more pleasant experience in that process.
Nice. Well, thank you again for letting us come out and see your showroom. And if you have any questions or want to learn more about it, obviously reach out to Samuel. He's going to be your man. He's going to be able to help you through all of that. Well, hopefully you learned a thing or two from Samuel. I know I did. If you are looking to update your kitchen, cabinets, anything like that, definitely reach out to Troyer Transformations. They are your business to go to here in the Central Ohio area. And if you have any comments, questions about, your kitchen, you want to get, some insight from the realtor side of things, I am always happy to help you as well. As always, I am Nathan Klein, Cbus Nathan on here. I put out videos every Friday, so follow along on tips and tricks on the real estate market, things to do around Columbus, and so much more. So until next Friday, have a great week.